What's going on, YouTube? We're going to look at something a little bit bigger this time, finally. 1/18 scale C10 Vic Hickey Desert Dynamics 4-wheel drive truck. This is the first factory sponsored Baja truck. 1969 C10 truck, but with a C30 cab, supposedly. And it's got 4-wheel drive axle, lifted. This is a really neat C10. Now this is Highway 61. Now this used to be a separate diecast company. Greenlight acquired it a while ago. So they still release it under the Highway 61 brand, but the Greenlight owns it. Really good detail. This is like on the higher price point of 1/18 scale, but it offers a lot of detail. We'll go through it, but take a look. Wonderful paint graphics. This is a Mecum Auctions 1/18 scale, but doesn't have the sticker on it, so which is nice. But anyway, this sold a few years ago. They made this truck for that sale. 14,000 mile original truck that raced. Steve McQueen owned this truck at one point, but it did race and it won some races. Baja, I think, some of the races in Nevada, stuff like that. California. Did pretty good. It had a small block 350 that was built up. Had a high-rise intake. Had turbo 400 automatic. I guess these seats were supposed to be like Corvette modified seats. They're buckets. They did a great job on the interior. So we got a separate pieces for everything. You even have the floor mat. So that's like what you pay for when you get a car with the detail like that. You even got the pattern on the seat correct. You got your sill plate. You got your cranks there and your door handle. Glove box. I can't remember if this goes down. I don't think it does, but we'll look. Oh yeah, it does. It's pretty funny. Some of the stuff that really blows you away is the hood and tailgate, and we'll look at that here in a minute. Let's back this up. See the quality. They also have the butterfly hinges, whatever you call them. There's a piece of spring steel in there that holds that down. And there's just a small tab on this door, and that's what makes it look like a factory hinge instead of those big dog legs. It's another thing that you pay for. They put in a roll cage. It had that 3-spoke like racing steering wheel. Door gap is good. Also have the painted mirrors. This is a piece of metal. This is like a pin, basically. They have the spotlight. That was supposed to be a Lucas unit. The only thing that's wrong about this is the tires. They had like these crosshatch tires for off-road trucks back then. They almost look like a smaller version of what they would put on off-road machines or like earth machines that had rubber tires. It's kind of like that diamond pattern. I don't know the brand of the wheel, but if you see them, you see them in a lot of period trucks in the late 60s. Like this. Now this raced in like 72, 73, and maybe even later than that. It's got a photo etched grill. If we look at the grill, this piece in here is photo etched. That means this is steel that's either laser cut or, you know, cut on a press, but it's not all metal meshing in there. So I like that. It's got a little bit of a pre-runner bar on it. Now they're really big, but this would help when it would nose down from doing that a little bit if you jumped it. So this has like coil springs in it. We'll look at this real quick before we go to the under the hood. So it's supposed to have turbo 400, but it looks like it's a stick shift. So, I mean the transmission anyway. But that's what it says in the literature. I did a light reading on this truck just to remember about it. It's got the full dual exhaust, which looks really good. Took the spare tire out of the back, see, and it's in the bed now. This is a serialized vehicle. I don't know how many. They don't call out the production. I think that is 851, something like that. I'll probably be able to see it on camera later. Yeah, 851. And it's supposed to be a 1969. And I don't know if it raced in 68 or 69 first. I don't remember that part. If you look, I don't know if it's got the, they're considering that the e-brake or the clutch, because I can't get over as far. And then there's also the shifter up there. I didn't look at the pictures very well, so I don't know what the steering column looked like, so I can't tell you if they were shipped if they used the automatic lever like that, or that was it. You know, that looks like it. It was probably a manual valve body type situation on the Turbo 400, where you'd shift it kind of like a drag racer, I'm assuming. There's your fuel cell, but you want that. Definitely better placement on these trucks than where they usually are stock. There's our spare tire. Alright, hinge for number one. Look at these hinges. So these are pretty good factory looking hinges. They don't flex all the way straight like it would probably on a, you know, real truck. It's having real trouble right there. Let's see if I can get it to go. Maybe we can go this way and it'll be a little bit better. There we go. So you can see the construction. Let me see if I can just, there we go, steady this a little bit. But it operates well. Now this interior, plastic. That's okay, it gives the bed detail. This is all metal. Back this up a little bit. So we get how that works. No bumper back there, of course. And we got a little bit of suspension going on. It's not great, and you don't want to break it, obviously. But it's got some spring to it. Well, let's look at the engine real quick. It's got a good look to it. Now, this hood is under the trim, so I gotta use this real quick. I'm not gonna scratch it, don't worry. But she's got some tension on her, for sure. There we go. So we don't want to flex this all the way, but it's got the, I'm sure people that own these vehicles, these diecast models, know about this, but this is my first one. It's got to, it goes a little too far, but it's got the whole thing, got the spring and the hinge perfect. So that was very, very nice to see that work. And then of course we got this engine. Now, that to me doesn't look like a 350. Let's take a look. Let's see where the exhaust is. So that's even spacing. So that's more like a big block, it looks like to me, which is fine. But supposedly it came at 350, which makes sense. You make good power with 350. You don't need the weight of the big block. Probably didn't want to use an aluminum setup like they had the high performance aluminum ones, but probably wasn't tough enough for the heat that you'd get into them. That looks like a big block to me. It's got the heater box right there. You got your battery. You got your warning labels. It's got some pretty good detail. Let's look it down in here. So we got the course part, looks pretty good. And then the headlight buckets. Looks good. I think the next one to get out of these series, because they make some nice pickup trucks, is the Blazers. Some websites have those Blazer trucks, the K5 Blazers, less than $100. And they made a GMC Jimmy and a K5 and a Dummer colors. They got the really cool wheels on them. So that might be next. They really do some cool trucks. But this is a neat one. It's done some really neat stuff. First factory Chevy truck, 4-wheel drive for this series. Factory backed. So there we go. Hope everybody enjoyed it. We got some other 1/18 scale we'll get through. So I have a few of them. I don't have a bunch, but we got some stuff we haven't looked at. So hope everybody enjoyed a little bit of something different. Thanks for all the new subscriptions, the thumbs up, helping the channel grow. I want to see everybody that watched the video. If you have something to say, feel free to say below. Love all the comments. It's been very nice. And continue to thumbs up and subscribe. More to come. Till next time.